Trump secures required delegates. RNC and GOP officials still won't close the deal. Trump secures required delegates. RNC and GOP officials still won't close the deal. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel at the Black Political Buzz Network. I am still filming live from Brooklyn, New York, my native hometown. I'm in the Clinton neighborhood of Brooklyn, visiting briefly, very briefly. And this video is about how 2016, presumptive 2016, GOP presidential nominee Donald J. Trump, also a native New Yorker, has recently clinched. He's recently clinched and secured the required 12,037 delegates needed to become the official GOP presidential nominee for the 2016 presidential election. So Trump has performed much better than many people suspected. Matter of fact, he's great on the campaign trail. Donald J. Trump, my candidate for president for 2016, he's done an excellent job on the campaign trail, winning over all spectrums of voters: white voters, black voters, Latinos, Asians, Muslims, Wall Street, middle class, low income, young voters, older voters, veterans. He's done a great job at winning over a wide spectrum of the U.S. voter, registered voter electorate for the 2016 election. And he has finally clinched the 1,237 delegates needed to become the official GOP presidential nominee. But yet, RNC officials and the GOP establishment officials and leaders have yet to seal the deal or close the deal, allowing Trump to step forward as the official nominee. Now, I know they have to meet at the convention in July in Cleveland. I know that Trump has to, be appointed the nominee in July of 2016 in Cleveland at the RNC convention. I'm aware of that process. But in the media, you have Paul Ryan and many other GOP establishment leaders and some members of the RNC officials still refusing to anoint or crown Trump as the 2016 GOP presidential nominee. I don't know what that's about, because the deal, in my opinion, has been already sealed. Trump has unified the GOP in a way that I haven't seen in a very long time. I'll say it again. Trump has unified the GOP or GOP voters in a way that I haven't seen in a very long time. I think Trump has unified the GOP even better than Jack Kemp and Ronald Reagan did. I'll say it again. I believe that Donald J. Trump has unified the GOP even much better than Jack Kemp and Ronald Reagan did, and even better than George W. Bush did when he ran for president in 2000 and 2004. But yet, GOP establishment leaders and some RNC officials have refused to close the deal and give him their stamp of approval. But the voters have already spoken. The voters have already spoken. Trump has not only won over many GOP voters, including conservatives, but Trump has also won over many Democrats. There are many registered Democrat voters who switched parties during the primaries just to vote for and support Donald J. Trump. I repeat, throughout this primary process, many registered Democrat voters switched parties just so they could support Donald J. Trump in the primaries at the ballot box during the primaries. So a lot of his supporters are not just GOP voters. A lot of Trump supporters are also registered Democrats. That speaks volumes against Trump's Democrat opponent, presumptive Democrat opponent for President Hillary Clinton. The fact that so many registered Democrat voters were willing to switch parties just to support Donald J. Trump in this election instead of voting for their own candidate, Hillary Clinton, speaks volumes for what the American electorate is looking for in their next leader in the Oval Office. Apparently, Trump embodies what the American electorate is looking for or seeking in a leader for America's future. It's too bad. It's too bad and so sad that RNC officials and the GOP establishment leaders like Paul Ryan have not yet come to the conclusion that Trump is it. Now I'm going to stay tuned to see if Paul Ryan, RNC officials, GOP establishment officials, if they're going to come around and line up with the voters, because you know they are elected officials. Paul Ryan, the GOP establishment, they are elected officials. We're going to see if they're going to come on board with and catch up with the voters who've already spoken. Thank you for tuning in to Laurel, live from Brooklyn, New York City. Trump secures required delegates. RNC and GOP officials still won't close the deal. Thank you and goodbye.